So let's clean and transform the data with Excel. When I'm talking about Excel, I talk about Excel on a Windows PC. Please do not use Excel on a Mac for this task. It would not work. Don't ask me why. It would not work. So, what I did, I will show you. I first copied my 3 files in a folder, so I have them here. And then I opened a new Excel worksheet. And if you use Excel at a version 2060 plus, I have here this is Excel and the newest one, you can find here the Data tab. You click on the Data tab and then you see here the Get Data. And you say Get Data from File from Workbook. Just to click here and we just select one of our folders. Where are my files? I've done this before. I use it in QData. And I have here lots of data. Sorry for the mess. I have here the CCDL and have here, I get the first one. This is the life expectancy. I see it here where the LE is life expectancy. I open this one and say import. And I will now open up a screen where I can select the multiple items of the Excel file, and I will use the Data tab. And I click here on Transform Data. And now opens up the Power Query Editor. The Power Query Editor is one of the most powerful tools within Excel, but nobody knows. And here we have all the data. And here we can transform and clean up the data. What we do at the first step, we have to get rid of these 2 rows. So on this menu on the table, we can here select remove top rows. And we say remove top rows, the first 2 top rows. And they are gone. The next thing we want to do is that in this row should be the header, should be the name of the columns. So we have here the information, use first row as headers. In this side you see all the steps what we have done. We have here removed here we see is the original the data, then we remove the top rows, then we put up the headers. Here's the change type. He did add his own. So and now what we have to do is we have to transform this data, these columns, into the first normal form. And how to do this is we select the top 4 rows, now the 4 columns, and then click on the menu and say unpivot other columns. And then you see how the table structure changes from this horizontal layout of the table and a vertical layout of the table. Now we have our table in the first normal form. We have country name, country code, indicator name, indicator code, the attribute we want to rename. This is the year. We can rename here. This is the year. And this value is the life expectancy. I just want to rename this one. Rename this as life expectancy. So we can now delete these 2 columns, remove, and this is our table in the first normal form. And now we click close and load, and we have our first data here, and we close this file. We save as. I will save it here in my, I have to browse in the same folder. Going back to not my own cloud, I would on my local to hard drive. I'll show you. I will go to my data. There was just, where do we have it? Where are my files here? So this is, I call it life expectancy first normal form with Excel. So, this is the first step. The next step, we have to do just the same with, we have here the life expectancy first normal from Excel. We have to do the same steps for the total fertility rate and for the life expectancy, for the population. So, we do the steps again. So, I'll open up Excel, blank workbook, data, get data from file, from workbook. So, we need our data where we have stored them in the CCDL, and I said, okay, I will need the fertility rate. And we just do the same steps as before. We select here our data and click on Transform Data. And Power Query is opening up, and what do we have to do? The same steps. We said remove top rows, the first two rows, to get rid of this first rows. Then to use used first row as headers. Mark the first 4 columns with the right mouse. You say unpivot other columns. There we have the same structure now in first normal form, and we just have to rename this one. This is the year, and this is the fertility rate. The value we rename to fertility rate. And we can delete these 2 columns. So we click close and load, and now we have transformed the data of the fertility rate into first normal form. Save this file, save as CDL, life expectancy. This is not life expectancy, this is fertility rate. And for the last thing you have to do is transform the last table we have in the same structure. This is the population. You just do the same steps. I will not guide you through this. That's how we transform the data into the first normal form. Oh, I will show you. Just get a new Excel one, just in case. Just guide you through. So, you get a blank workbook, data, get data from file from workbook. We need the population. We need here our, where do I have it? Here I have my data. Need the population. Then I will need, just doing the same stuff, I said we'll need the data tab here, and we said transform data. And just do the same. In Power Query. So remove top rows. Use the first row as header. Select the first 4 columns. Right click and say unpivot other columns. Rename the attribute to the year. And rename the value to population. And then delete these 2 columns here. Remove and close and load. So, I'll just save this file as this is the population in the first normal form. So, now we have cleaned up our data. Okay, in the next video I will show you how to do this with exploratory.